Well, hello everyone. It's Angela with Treasure Trove Tarot, also known here on YouTube as Mystic Moon. Welcome to my second channel and welcome to whatever spirit wants us to know today. So how we're going to derive our messages is we are going to shuffle the major arcana of a tarot deck and just see what subjects want to be basically explored. Okay, so that's how we're going to run it. Everything that I'm using here will be listed down below, and obviously just take what resonates for you and get rid of anything that doesn't. So let's go ahead and get started, you guys. We are going to use this deck, which is called the Terror Tarot, and it's only a major arcana deck, so I thought it was perfect for this. All right, what major arcana wants to come through as a subject for my viewers today? Ooh, we have the Emperor's energy. So the Emperor is Aries. The Emperor can also be divine masculine. So this could be your divine masculine, your own divine masculine energy within you, but it definitely is about responsibilities and being in a position of power or authority. Okay, so let's go ahead and get another card just to kind of clarify some of this energy. This is called the Moonology Oracle cards. What else do we need to know about the Emperor? Ooh, we have full moon. So even though this full moon is not going to be in Taurus, it's going to be in Scorpio, it is in Taurus season. So I feel like that means something here. It says your dreams need a practical plan. So if we know something about the Emperor is in a position of power to make things happen. So this is about being in a leadership position. So if you guys are really wanting to, run your own business, or you want to be in a position that's better than the one that you're in currently, especially if we're talking about a job, but it doesn't have to just be a job. I'm just only saying this because Taurus energy is a lot about, money and value in the material world. But this could just be if you want to be in a position of power, you need to have some sort of a plan. It's not just going to happen overnight. We need to take some sort of practical steps towards this. So it's not going to be one of those things where we just wish upon a star for the perfect job, or just, suddenly we're just going to be valued overnight without really having to, come up with a plan to work that out. So there is some kind of a message here about knowing your value, understanding your value in your position, or at least knowing what you want and then going after that thing, right? Start making plans now. Even if it's just one small thing that you do a day, do something towards a goal, because sitting around and dreaming about it and thinking about it and talking about it is not enough. We need to take at least a baby step today to do something here. Do that research, do that thing. Okay, so we have the star, and I said it's not going to be good enough to sit around and wish upon a star. Spirit helps those who help themselves. That's the thing. We've got to co-create with Spirit. That's that message. So let's just say this isn't about a job, okay? Because not everybody is looking for another job or looking to run their own business. Some people are just satisfied. This is Aquarius, by the way. What this tells me, though, is that if we're hoping or praying for a specific person to either come into our lives, or maybe to come back into our lives, or to want what we want, etc., this is basically saying become your own emperor. Become your own best friend. In a way, date yourself, love yourself, treat yourself the way you want someone else to treat you. So that's that co-creative energy. It's not enough to save the words or to put that wish or that prayer out there. We need to start taking action steps towards our goal. That's why we have your dreams need a practical plan. So if you want to meet someone new, it's not going to happen if you're just sitting indoors all the time. If you don't go out, you're not going to meet someone, unless that might be online. But you're not really going to make new friends if you don't put yourself out there in whatever way that looks. So we need to come up with a practical plan, and that practical plan is about making a move towards that thing. We're not going to get a new job if we're not putting our resume out there. We're not going to win the lottery unless we're playing, right? That's the practical plan that Spirit's talking about here. So, you do deserve something. There is something here for you in the future, but it's going to require you to meet Spirit halfway and get to be a part of that co-creative process. We have the Hermit energy. So this is Virgo. But it's kind of like that hermit energy. If we just stay inside and we stay in our little safe hermit shell and we don't want to get hurt, we don't want to take any risks, we don't want to take any chances, life is not going to happen. So I feel like Spirit is saying for some of you guys that you need to kind of come out of that hermit mode and go into the emperor mode and start to make your life happen, because Spirit isn't going to just do it for you, and also other people aren't going to just show up on your doorstep and bring you your dreams. You're going to have to work for them. You're going to have to do something, make something happen. And you might be feel really comfortable all alone or feeling like really safe in your position right now. But Spirit's saying that there's something else, there's something more for you out there. But maybe you're afraid to dream. Maybe you're afraid to reach higher. It's almost like you need to reach higher for different stars, because maybe what you're looking at right now, just it's not really what you want. It's not really, it might just not be either for you or it's not good enough. And so we're going to have to be the emperor of our lives and make things happen. But it's not going to happen in the hermit mode. It's just not going to. So now we have the moon's energy. There is something about the moon. So the full moon in Scorpio, and it keeps coming up in a lot of my readings. We're going to have to make that transformation. It is in Scorpio, so that means it's like the perfect time to deal with those things that we need to put to rest, whatever is holding us back. We need to put that to rest so we can be reborn and move into just a different direction. So I feel like you guys are done with some cycle of your lives of either being maybe lonely or alone. Not that that's a bad thing, being alone, but if some of you guys are wanting to get out there, you're wanting to share your life with someone, you're wanting to experience new things, it's not going to be in hermit mode. I feel like you guys have probably done enough healing, or have you spent enough time kind of ruminating over something or waiting for something to change, and maybe it hasn't. So kind of like you're in this dark, or you're in this cycle of the unknown. You don't know what's coming next, but waiting around for it isn't the answer either. You have to get into this masculine mode and make something happen, make changes happen, go out into the world and experience life. So some of you guys might be spending a lot of time dreaming, but not a lot of time doing. So to me, this is very much kind of like light and dark, and they're both here to serve us. But being extremely in the dark or being extremely in the light, we need to take a little bit more of a practical, down-to-earth approach, which is, well, it's nice to dream, but if that's not really doing anything and we're not really seeing any kind of evidence of our dreams, right? Like wishful thinking, fantasy, things like that, rather than continuously getting kind of lost or even fearful that our dreams won't come true or that we'll never be happy, it's time for us to put ourselves out there and see what is out there and be a part of life, be a part of the experience of life. So that might be scary for some of you guys. Maybe you're afraid. Maybe you're afraid to live. And Spirit's saying it's time to become the emperor. And if this is about a person, okay, and you're putting all your hopes and your dreams. This is going to be a little tough love here, but I don't care. It's got to be said. If you guys are putting all your hopes and your dreams into a person, but you really haven't gotten shit back, this person's still very withdrawn from you, and they're just still very much kind of, in this mode of doom and gloom, or they've got a lot of issues and they keep saying things such as, I just need more time and space. You need to come back down to earth. You need to come back down to earth and say, you know what? Me and this person may not be on the same page. This may not be my emperor. This may not be what I'm looking for. I need to take back my power, and I need to take a bite out of life. And I'm not going to be able to take a bite out of life if I'm too busy waiting around for this person. And it's funny because, she's holding this ribbon, and I do have, and this came up in another reading, I do have this letting go ritual in my newsletter for the month of May, and it does include strings or ribbons for letting go. So yeah, that I feel is something here. Maybe we just need to, I'm not trying to tell anybody give up on your dreams at all. But if you are waiting for someone else to fulfill you, that's where I feel like maybe you're going wrong. You're giving somebody way too much power over your happiness. You're giving somebody way too much power over your life. And you're not able to actually practically be happy in your life in real time because you're too busy waiting for this person. And I just feel like that's why Spirit's saying this full moon in Taurus, which is during Taurus season, but it's in Scorpio. You are going to cut ties with this energy, and you're going to start making practical moves in your life. And you're going to take back your power, and you're going to start living your life for you. So, wow, that was a lot. And I just ended that on 11/11 when I said that. So anyways, let's see what else wants to come through. You never know. Oh, we have the World. The World is Capricorn's energy, Saturn. The World is the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one. And I just feel like there is an opportunity that's knocking on your door. So that's a portal. That's a portal. Do you see how he's stepping into a portal? And it's funny because 11s to me, 11:11 is portal energy. It means like we're on the right track, but we have to keep moving forward in our lives. So that means something to me. So this right here, look at this really creepy guy, and this guy's really scared. And it's like, I can keep going in this direction, or I can go through this portal, which is going to bring me into a whole new level of living and existence. The world I've been living in hasn't really produced the happiness or joy that I thought it was going to, or that it just didn't produce what I was looking for. And I feel like some of you guys are going to be real honest with yourselves and say, you know what? I need to come back down to earth, and I need to start living my life and being happy with, where I'm at right now, and maybe detaching more from things that just aren't really grounded or, in either reality, or it's just not panning out in reality. Like thoughts and dreams and feelings are wonderful. But if things after a period of time aren't really panning out in the physical world, it's like, how long are we going to wait for people to get their head out of their ass, or just to get their shit together? You'll know when someone is just giving you excuses and giving you the runaround. So I feel like these messages today are for people that are they're tired. They're tired of putting their lives on hold, and they're really wanting to clear up that heavy burden, maybe even karmic lesson or cycle with someone. So they're willing to walk into new territory here, go through another portal. Wow. Look at the bigger picture, Sagittarius energy. So full moon. So there's definitely something that's happening on the full moon. The Sagittarius energy is all about expansion. So you are meant to expand your horizons, you guys, and you can't really do that until you're done with this old situation. So there is a new timeline, I feel, that's opening up for you, and it is up to you on whether you'll step through that portal and take it, or you'll stay kind of like The Walking Dead, where you're just not really getting anywhere. You're just surviving. Well, you're not even surviving. You're just kind of, like a zombie. And that's interesting. I just read that the other day. It said it's not ghosting anymore. It's when an ex comes back from the dead. Like they ghost you, but then they come back, and then it's just like still shit. So I thought that was so funny when I saw that. So I don't know if maybe that's something that you guys have gone through, or somebody came back, or somebody you've been back and forth with is like come back, but it's like still the same old shit. It's just not really going anywhere, and you're tired of it. You're tired of waiting and hoping and praying that it will change. We have the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups, you guys, of course, is your heart, your feelings. But it's also about looking at love from a new perspective. So maybe considering new options, considering starting fresh and starting new. It could also be considering that somebody is very immature and somebody is like a child. And what they have to offer you really isn't what you're looking for. The Page of Cups is no match for the Emperor, you know? Page of Cups is no king. And with the Six of Cups, what's interesting here is that I feel like this is someone from the past. We have this dream. Look at her. She is in love with the potential of the page. He could be so wonderful. Remember when we had that beautiful time? Remember way back in the day, that when we were getting to know each other, they were so romantic. They told me how beautiful I was. They were so in love with me, right? So it's being nostalgic on the magic that maybe you felt with someone in the past. But I feel like what Spirit is saying here is that it's time to transition this energy. It's become a burden in your life. It's time for you to expand beyond this. Because if you don't, it's like you're still going to be stuck collecting crumbs from this breadcrumber. Because that's who that is. It's a breadcrumber. I feel like you're being asked to look at what you're being offered here. Does that cup even have anything in it? I don't even know. It kind of looks empty to me. But I just feel like it's a message for us that if we want things to change, we might have to take matters into our own hands. Yeah, 4 cups is crap. Look at this. I feel like no matter how much love you offer this person, no matter how much you've given to them, no matter how kind you are, they just still don't want it. And that is not a reflection on you. Look at how amazing you are here. You're freaking amazing. It's not you. It's this person. Look at how miserable they are. Look at how unhappy they are. They don't even want the cups that are in front of them. They don't want any cups. So some of you guys might be dealing with someone that's just doesn't know how to be happy. And so if they don't know how to be happy, they're not going to be happy with you. Or eventually, they're going to get bored with everything. They maybe got bored with you. They're going to get bored with other people. So if you're worried that this person's going to be a better, amazing partner for someone else, that is foolish thinking because it's not true. It's just a fear. It's not true. They're not going to be good for anybody. Okay? Maybe one day they'll change, but I'm seeing them as the page right now, which is a child. They got a lot of growing to do. So, but to me, this is also you. If you continue to stay in this energy here of the world, meaning you don't close up this cycle, you don't walk through that new door, you don't walk through that portal, this will be you. Meaning that new offers will come your way, but because you're so focused on this shit, you're not even going to see new offers that come your way. People that might be better for you than this dipshit. I'm not trying to be funny here. I mean, I guess I kind of am throwing a little humor in there, but I guess I'm just trying not to be so harsh. But that's really what this is. We're not going to notice the good things when they do come our way because we're so focused on that. So Spirit's saying we got to close up this cycle. We got to wrap it up because if we don't, we're going to lose out on potential new opportunities to be happy. And I just feel like you guys aren't getting your needs met in some situation. It's a beautiful dream. It's a beautiful thought. It's a beautiful wish. But when you really look at the situation, it's not really matching up in reality of what you're actually getting. There's no real building of this connection. There's no real physical movement. There's no evidence of things in the physical world. So it might be time for us to move forward, So let's go ahead and get one last card to wrap up this reading. We have the Strength card, and I love this because this is basically saying here that you guys are so much stronger than maybe you realize. You can do this. You absolutely can. The Strength card is also about forgiveness. It's about forgiving someone, even if they can't give you what you're looking for. They just can't meet you halfway. It's about forgiving this person, but that doesn't mean you need to be a doormat or that you need to accept a crappy crumb situation. No. This means that you're strong enough to realize that you deserve more. And that the only way that you're going to get to those things is by removing yourself from this. So there's that message. So we got Leo's energy coming through. And we have another full moon, you guys. So it's not an accident at all. This deck is full of all kinds of moons. But we did get the full moon in Taurus. So the full moon in Taurus season. Full moon in Sagittarius, now full moon in Gemini, Mercury retrograde, which we're currently in, if I'm not mistaken. So the full moon while we are in Mercury retrograde and in Taurus season is the full moon in Scorpio that is you're going to, I want to say, eclipse this energy out, really get rid of this energy, or start to make your way away from this energy. You're at least going to attempt, I'm getting here. The answers you need are coming. So once you release this energy from your life, once you start to take some steps to literally walk away from something, and this means a break, you're pulling yourself off of social media, or you're, maybe blocking someone, or whatever it is, whatever your triggers are. If you have pictures, things that remind you of someone, it's like it's a death. We're cleansing ourselves. We're purging things that aren't going to serve our new life, because you can't really move forward in the new if you're still holding on to the past. So the answers that you need are coming. And I feel like because the next season will be Gemini, so we're in Taurus and then we'll be going into Gemini season. I feel like by Gemini season, you're going to have the answers that you need. You're going to really, really understand and see things very clearly. And you're actually going to feel a lot stronger with the truth, because it's like when we face the truth, no matter how painful it is, we're stronger for it. We really are. A fantasy world is great, but the thing is, sometimes that can be a coping mechanism for not wanting to deal with the reality of things. It's a crappy thing. And I do watch the crappy childhood fairy, and she's totally against twin flames, by the way. But I don't get triggered by it, because I understand where she's coming from. But I'm able to watch people, even though I don't agree with everything that they say, but still take, what does resonate with me and get rid of what doesn't. I do believe that there are people out there that have very special soul contracts and connections. I absolutely do. So I don't think that everything that people feel is a fantasy, but I do feel like, because, some people have things and other people, maybe they're not experiencing that. Not every person that we feel strongly about is our twin flame, Not every single person that we feel an attraction to, does that mean it's meant to be? So if we're traumatized, what we'll do, especially as kids, we created a fantasy world in order to cope because of the crappy circumstances. It's called limerence. And it might be that some people just have limerence with friends, family, lovers, just situations, because it's easier than dealing with the reality. So let's just say you're in a really unhappy relationship right now, but you don't have the strength to leave it. You might fantasize about someone that's unavailable. That's limerence. It's a way of coping. So I'm not saying that's going to apply to everyone, but that is coming to me. That sometimes knowledge is power. Sometimes knowledge means facing things, and we can start to heal when we face reality. But we can't heal if we're still going to either lie to ourselves or use unhealthy coping mechanisms in order to, deal with life. So at some point, we need to face something. So I just feel like that could be a special message for somebody, that by Gemini's season, we're really going to come full circle with a reality check and be like, you know what? Thank you. I understand it now. Now I can move forward. That's what I'm getting. So let's go ahead and get 3 more cards, and then I will stop lecturing everyone. Okay, we have the Fool. This is fantastic. What is the Fool? It's Uranus energy, which is all a planet of liberation, letting go, Aquarius. So there is a releasing here. There's a liberation. There's an opportunity to start fresh and start new. So I love that we got the World and now we have the Fool. So this means the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one. This is coming for us. This is positive, you guys. And, I mean, we can try to protect ourselves in the future, but that's not realistic either. We can put ourselves out there and feel safer about it, meaning like we can protect ourselves to a point, have certain boundaries, go about things a little bit of a different way, but you can't completely avoid making mistakes. You can't, because you're not perfect. You're human. And sometimes those mistakes actually turn out to be some of our greatest lessons. So you definitely don't want to stop living on account of your experiences, but you also don't want to continue to go down a path that is going nowhere either. So Spirit is basically saying, stop being a fool maybe, but maybe be a fool in a different way by opening yourself up to new experiences, because that is truly living. And then we have the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is Pisces energy. So we did have the Page of Cups. I feel like there is someone else that might be coming. Now, it's not to say that someone else is going to be the answers to all of your problems and the answers to your happiness. It's not to suggest that. But this person, the Knight of Cups, can be a little bit more on your page than the Page. The Page is a child. The Knight, even though he's not a king, but there's at least movement. It's not just a thought and a dream. The Page of Cups can sometimes just be words, no action. The Knight of Cups is actually moving. As in the Knight of Cups, you're actually having some sort of a connection with. It's not just based on imagination or based on our feelings or, our wishes. It's actually something that's taking place in the physical world. You have someone that's coming towards you. They're reciprocating something with you. And I feel like that might be a change from where some of you guys have been. And we have the Page of Swords. So there's communication, there's an exchange of ideas, but it's also followed up with action. So I really like what I'm seeing here in your future. It's much better. It's definitely an upgrade than what you guys have been dealing with. Someone is actually saying things, but they're following through with their actions. So it's not just a talker here. This is not just a sweet talker. This person is saying things and they're following it up with showing you how they feel about you. They're interested in you. They're calling you. Because that's the thing. Let's really come back down to earth. If someone is not reaching out to you and someone is not calling you or returning your text or your phone calls or whatever, then that means that it's because they don't want to, because you're not on their mind. And if you are, in some special cases, this person's too fucked up to make it known to you. So right away, that is just problematic and isn't going to work. So to me, what's happening in your future is you're shifting from this just talk or no action to talking, communication, and action. And it's coming towards you in a romantic sense, which is what I feel, ultimately looking for, So this entire reading, for whatever reason, I feel came through as some sort of maybe being hung up on someone. It might have something to do with the fact that I did do a reading this week here on Treasure Trove, which I, normally don't do a lot of soul connection stuff over here. But I felt guided to do it a little bit more over here, which was about, like a toxic situation that you're looking to let go of. So this could just be more of a reiteration of those facts or piggybacking off of that reading. So anyways, I do hope that you guys got something empowering and positive from this reading. This wasn't to cut anyone down or to make anybody feel stupid at all. Believe me, you guys, I'm just going to be 100%. I have been, and it's not to say just because this is what I experienced and the crappy childhood fairy and the things that she says, that this is what everyone's going through. But I have been limerent many times in my life. And it's not that I had a crappy childhood, because the way that I remember, or at least this is what I tell myself, is that I had a really good childhood. But I think, though, is that I did not have parents that knew how to be present. So that technically, it can, that's still a crappy childhood, as in you've got parents that are disconnected. You have parents that you know are there and that they love you, but there is no, there's no extra there. It's just survival, you know? There's no nurturing really going on there. There's a disconnect somewhere, especially if you're dealing with, you know, parents that have mental illness and things like that. That also plays into it too. So you develop all kinds of coping mechanisms and things to offset, you know, bad moods or whatever. So I guess it's crappy childhood. But anyways, you guys, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it was helpful. And if you enjoyed the reading, well, I don't know if you enjoyed it, but if you felt something positive that you could get from this reading, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share your comments in the comments section. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.